Hello and welcome to our Western Continuum Coordinated Entry training. My name is Tony Diaz. I am a PHMIS Administrator for the Balance Estate here in Pennsylvania. We're going to be logging in today to our training environment where there is no actual client level data at this time. I have my username and password loaded up, so I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Next thing I want to do is confirm that I am logged into the Western Pennsylvania CoC work group. My organization is Western Continuum Coordinated Entry, and my location is Lawrence County Social Services site. So this is how I want to log in to do coordinated entry intakes. And so I will say use these settings. It's going to take me immediately to the client's workspace. I'm going to click on coordinated entry and select homeless intake. First question is the DV question. Are they fleeing domestic violence and requesting an anonymous intake? If the answer is yes, then a specified workflow will be launched, and that is covered in another training. I'm going to go ahead and select no. Next question is add user, select another client. If you're going to add a client, they're going to prompt you to do a search to see if that client has previous HMIS records. If you want to select another client, you also will be prompted to do a search. And if you're going to use the current client is the client that is on your dashboard at the moment. For me, that is Red Rooster. So if I say use current client, then it's going to pull in any information that it has. We will go through the intake and verify the information, as well as add any new information that is requested. So for the first name and last name, middle name, suffix, name, quality, social security number. If you have a full first and last name, you'll say full name reported. For pretty much anything else, you're going to say partial street name or code name reported. Code name can be for security reasons, street name, nickname, or a partial name. They did not give you the full first and last name. And then throughout the workflow, you're going to see these client doesn't know, client refused, data not collected. Data not collected, you will select this if you did not have the opportunity to ask the question. Client refused, if you asked the question and they did not answer it, refused to answer it. And client doesn't know, you'll select this choice if you asked the question and the client did not know the answer. You're going to see these throughout the workflow, and they will always have the same meaning. Social Security, you'll select full or partial Social Security number. Whatever they give you to enter, you will go ahead and enter that there. Social Security data quality will be collected. For date of birth, you can pull up the calendar, you can enter it manually. If they give you the full day, month, and year, then you will select full date of birth reported. If they know the year, but they don't know the day and the month, you can select January 1st of their birth year, and then approximate or partial date of birth reported. Client age is going to be auto-calculated for you. Ethnicity is basically Hispanic or non-Hispanic. Race, you can select up to 5 different races. However, if you select one of these 3, that is the only selection that you can make. You cannot make these selections in conjunction with any other choice. So once that's selected, that's your only choice. Gender, we have some new gender options coming live October 1st of 2021 into our production environment. So right now we have female, male, trans, male to female, and trans, female to male. That's going to change to the female, male, gender other than a singularly female or male, such as non-binary, gender fluid, agender, or a culturally specific gender. And then you're going to have transgender and questioning. We'll go into deeper detail on this in our data standards training. This also is going to be changed to a multi-select. So you'll be able to choose more than one gender. And right now, If you select female, there's going to be a pregnancy question that comes up. And if the answer to that is yes, then you're going to be asked for a pregnancy due date. If the due date is not known, you can select January 1st of the current year. So if they don't know their due date, you'll just put January 1 of 2021. Also, this pregnancy status question is going to be opened up to more than one gender. Currently, it's just for females. After October 1st, it'll be available to more than one gender. Next is the veteran status question. You're going to say no to this question for anyone who has not been on active duty. This includes individuals who attended training but were discharged before reporting to a duty station, and reservists or National Guard who were never deployed. You're going to answer yes to this question for anyone who has ever been on active duty in the U.S. Armed Forces, regardless of discharge status or length of service. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard. Active duty begins when a military member reports to a duty station after completion of training. Reservists and National Guard. Active duty is any time spent activated or deployed either in the United States or abroad. Anyone who was disabled on the line of duty during a period of active duty training is considered a veteran, and anyone who was disabled from an injury occurred in the line of duty or from acute myocardial infarction, a cardiac arrest, or a cerebrovascular accident during a period of inactive duty training. So that is the exception to the inactive duty rule. Moving on to contact information, you're going to fill out any contact information that they have, any kind of phone, whether it's a home, a mobile, a work, a message, and whether or not it's safe to contact, and any kind of safe contact information. Next, you're going to move on to the family information. You always do the head of household first when doing a family. So this is going to be the Red Rooster household and his relationship to the head of household itself. For the information release, if the client chooses allow sharing, that's going to allow everybody in the CoC to see their records. If they choose not to share, then that'll be restricted to the organization DCED admin, unless that record is marked as restricted organization. So we'll go ahead and click finish. Next is the family members. Here is where you can add more family members to Red Rooster's household. You'll do it horizontally instead of vertically. And since Red is the only member of his household, I'm going to hit save and then save and close. Program enrollment, here's where you actually enroll them into the program, Western CoC Coordinated Entry Program. And then you're going to check the box next to every member of the family that is being enrolled in the program and go ahead and hit save. We're going to start the universal data assessment now. You have your assessment date, client's age at assessment, type of assessment, the assessor, the program, and then you come to disabling condition. This is a self-reporting question. So for disabling condition, physical, mental, or emotional impairment, including an impairment caused by alcohol or drug abuse, post-traumatic stress disorder, or brain injury that is expected to be long continuing or of indefinite duration. Substantially impedes the individual's ability to live independently and could be improved by the provision of more suitable housing conditions. In addition, a client indicating the following sources of income can be considered to have a disabling condition: supplemental security income, Social Security disability insurance, VA service-connected disability compensation, VA non-service-connected disability pension. So after you answer the disability, or after the client answers the disability condition question, you move on to client location. You'll select the CoC where they spent last night, prior living situation. So prior living situation, the way you answer this question, the way the client answers this question is going to determine what other questions populate the living situation section. So if we say place not meant for habitation, these questions pop up. Length of stay, I'm going to say 1 night or less. And say you started being homeless yesterday, and it's the first time and the first month. You come down to the health insurance question. If you say no, no further action is required. If you say yes, then you're going to select which insurance they have. And go ahead and hit save. Next, we're going to start the triage assessment. So you got the date, the location, phone, virtual, or in person, the household type, the information date, that's the date the data was collected. And then you can verify by project, current living situation, whereas prior living situation was where they spent last night. Current living situation is where they expect to spend tonight. It gives you a box if you want to add a note here about the location detail. You can skip record contact. That is not part of the coordinated entry intake. Then you're going to add the zip code and the state and the county. So we're going to say Lawrence. And then I think I'm going to choose 608 or 108. Category homelessness. So 104. The only time you would do a 2 or 3 is if you expect them to be category 104 in the next couple of days, and you're just getting an early start on things, and then you would stop after the triage assessment. And when they do become category 104, you would come back and correct the information and then go ahead and do a housing needs assessment. So our guy is category 1, mental health diagnosis, again, a self-reporting question. So we'll say that Red said no, and then multi-select for counties of preference where they would like to be served. Bedrooms is multi-select, and then comments on the bedrooms. And then it asks again, are you currently living with or trying to leave an intimate partner who you are afraid of or threatens you? If they answer yes to this question, you'll cancel the workflow and refer to a DV. So we're going to say that our client answered no, and we're going to go ahead and save. And then complete housing needs assessment. Our client was category 1, so we're going to say yes. And then it starts the VESPADAT. VESPADAT is broken down into sections: administration, basic information, A, B, C, and D. A, history of housing and homelessness. B, risk. C, socialization and daily functioning. D, wellness. And then you have the scoring section and the follow-up questions. There are different types of VESPADATs, and some are slightly different. The family VESPADAT in the basic information has parent 1, parent 2, and children. The one we're going to be using here today is the single adult VESPADAT. There's also a justice discharge VESPADAT that does not have any follow-up questions, and a transition age youth VESPADAT that's almost virtually identical to the single adult. So as you go through the VESPADAT, you're going to go ahead and fill in any information that is not pre-populated. And select whether it was phone, virtual, or in person. Team is going to be more than one person was administering the intake. Staff would be if it was a staff member doing it and then volunteer. You have the interview location and the assessment location. You'll select from the drop down. Again, anything and the basic information that is not pre-populated, you want to go ahead and answer. So we're going to say, Red has told us that he communicates best in English. And then you'll go through and you'll answer these questions. Well, the client will answer the questions and you'll record the answers. You will ask the questions. And I'm just going to go through and real quickly supply some answers here so we can get a score. And as you can see, the scores auto-populate. Okay, so now we have our pre-screen total of 13. It shows how our client did in each section. And then we're going to go ahead and look over here. Score less than 4, no housing intervention, 4 to 7, an assessment for rapid rehousing, and 8 or more, an assessment for permanent supportive housing, housing first. Then you have your follow-up questions. When is it easiest to find you and what time of day? So you can say beach or wherever that the client says it's easiest to find them, and then anytime. And then is there a phone number or email where someone can get in touch with you or leave a message? Again, opportunity to record a phone, email. You can ask if they want their picture taken, and then if the score is 4 or more, you're going to go ahead and place them on the prioritization list and then hit save. Now you've come to the section where it says you're done. All required steps have been completed. So you're going to click on this box that says finish and close the workflow. And that is it. Your household has been entered into coordinated entry and your client is on the BNL. So that concludes our training for today on the Western Continuum Coordinated Entry Intake. Have a great day. Thank you.